Hey, what's up, guys? Haven't posted anything in a little bit. I am going to be starting to work on... What? Oh my god. No, Grogu, you cannot play with the Darksaber. You were too young. No, you can't. Let's come back over here. You stay there for now. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to be working on the chrome part for Mandalorian, all his Beskar armor, which is currently all right here on the floor. I haven't mounted anything, but I'm going to just finish up getting all the measurements of the thing to put on the clothing, which it's almost done. I don't know if you can see the Sharpie. Yeah, you can. That's where the 3 pieces, so the chest piece is going to go there, or the 2 pieces of Velcro for the chest pieces are going right there. 1 for the gut plate which is going to go down here. I do need to do the back of him to find where it's going to mount to the back, and same with the pants. Already marked off for the thighs. I just need to do the knee, and then all that will be done. So then I can start painting all these, because all these pieces are glued together. I can start painting these in my new box, and then while these are drying, I can be using the sewing machine, which is right there, to sew all the fabric or the Velcro to the actual clothing. Then once that's done, then I will have everything done for the Mandalorian, and the only things that will need to be done is just for me to put it on. And so for my spray paint booth, currently I do not have any kind of light for this. I'm just going to be using this for now, just to light up so I can see, or my headlamp as well. But what I am planning on doing is getting a bright, probably LED light, either hook it up to this with like a command strip or something, but my best bet I'm thinking about doing is just Velcro on the back side of the light and then up to here. So basically the light is just attached. So the light is just attached up here, so it lights everything else up down there, like just like that. But currently I don't have that set up, so I'm just going to be doing this for now. Yep, these pieces I already have matched out to the suit. Now all I gotta do is all these pieces to the other parts of the clothing. Or if you guys want me to show you, but all I do is put it up to my body. So all I'm gonna do, for example, because I need to work on the pants. Oh, actually, no, I finished it. Oh. So I'll just show you what I did to get all the measurements or like lined up everywhere. What I plan on doing is in the future, probably when I go to wear this, I'm planning, not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to do it, but in August, sorry, the filter just fell. In August, I am planning, I think it's August 4th and 5th, I am planning on attending the FanCon, I believe. It's in Boston. It's for a convention. And if I get all this done, hopefully I'll be able to attend there with the Mandalorian suit all on. And I can see possibly if any of you guys are going to be attending there, possibly going to be there. Probably going to spend a lot of money there if they have any things like pop figures and stuff. But that's what I'm planning on doing. I told you in one of my previous videos I did buy a size 2 sizes bigger on the clothing, just so I could have room to work with. For example, these pants are a little bit tight on me, just like if I go to bend over or something. And they were long, so I just folded up the ankles. When I am gonna have all the clothing on, I'm gonna probably fold the ankles back inwards, so you just see the end of the pants. I don't know if I want to sew them just yet, but all I did was I took, like, this is for the one for my left leg, so all I did was I just matched it up to it with a Sharpie, line, and that's where that's gonna go, because if I put my knee up straight, that's where it lines up with my knee, instead of having it on my knee, and when I go to bend, it's not going to be matched up perfectly. And then for my thigh plates, all I did, because this one goes on my right one, I believe. Yeah. And this one goes a little bit higher, and then this one goes on my left leg, which if I matched up, that's how it's gonna go. So it's just about my knee, and full mobility and everything. If I bend over like this, this piece touches me a little bit, but that's fine. And then same with the knee. I put that on, that's how it's gonna look. So like I can bend my knee and everything, and it has no problem. But that's how I got everything lined up on me. So yeah, so everything is done. The only thing I need to do is the back plate that I made, because I saw a couple pictures online, and his back plate looked something similar to this. The template that I got has a smaller one that doesn't really look that good, or it does, but I'm not going to use. I'm going to be using this because I'm thinking about cutting into here to make, either use elastics to hold the jetpack on, or have like a hook thing so it sticks out just like this, so the jetpack can just go over. Actually, I can grab it for the jetpack, where I can just take it and have it hook onto right here, and take it and just fit it on and just slide it on. So like on me, that's how the jetpack is gonna look once it's all painted and everything. But as of right now, I'm just keeping set aside until I get to that point. I believe everything is all done. Gut, legs. Yep, everything is done except for these two pieces. This one goes straight to my back, like so. But I'm gonna need either my brother or my lovely assistant to help me out with this part. It's gonna be off camera. And then this piece goes, I don't know how I'm gonna attach it just yet, either to the belt, either to this whole leather setup or whatever, because this piece goes over my lower waist, so like this basically covers my butt. I don't know if I'm gonna attach it to the clothing, like to the actual fabric, or if I'm gonna put it to that leather stuff that I just showed you. But I'm gonna think about how to do that after, once I get all this other stuff set up. In my I believe my last video, I told you guys about how I got a new cape and everything. That I haven't touched anything to. So I also am gonna have to set that up, sew it, and do all that stuff to it and get that all set up. So I have work on that, and I have to start painting all the other pieces for the Beskar, and just sew all the Velcro stuff to that piece of clothing and the pants that are over there. And then that should be all right, guys. So I have the mask on. I just shut the fan off for a couple seconds. I did use the Plasti Dip. Oh, I forgot to tell you what I'm using. So I used the whole can. Spray Plasti Dip. I used that, coated all the parts that's going to be chrome, as you can see right here. All these pieces are all painted. These are drying now. After that is going to be done, then I'm going to apply primer. This one I believe I'm going to use. It's just a, actually, I might just use the flat black primer. I don't know, I'll decide which one I'm going to use, but I'm going to use that, 2 coats of it. Then use a 400 grit sandpaper. Sand every single one of these pieces till they're flat and smooth. Once that's done, then I will spray paint it this gray color, this gloss gray. After that's done, I will use the graphite powder, cover it all in it, polish it with a clean one, and then all those pieces should look like chrome. But I just used the whole thing of Plasti Dip on all these pieces. These are going to dry for a little while now. Once this is done, I probably might have to buy another can to touch up a couple spots, spots I couldn't get, like up underneath right here on the bottom edge, because I couldn't hold it. Once those are done drying, then it's going to be hit with the primer, 2 coats, sand it with 400 grit, get it nice smooth and everything, then do the gray spray paint, and then the graphite coat onto it. I did watch a video of someone using Pledge. It's like a wood finisher to coat the whole thing. I don't know if I'm going to use that or if I'm just going to use a clear coat. And it does smell like a lot of fumes in here from the spray paint. So I'm going to turn the fan on for a little while and I'm gonna leave the room just so the whole air can get circulated out, and then I'll start using the sewing machine on all those pieces on there and the pants. So yeah, see you on the other side. Alright guys, so I just worked on the Mandalorian project a little bit. I broke out my sewing machine. Not sponsored or anything, but this is the one that I use, the ST371HD. Not 100% sure on how everything works. I know the logistics of it. Don't know how to use any of the patterns for sewing and stuff. It comes with like a little compartment that break pops open or something. Right here on the side. And it has like extra needles, different feet for like a button, a bunch of other stuff. But this whole pouch, or little door thing, slides off, so you can do like clothing and stuff, because it's a hole empty under here. I just did the shirt right here. I just did this shirt a little bit. Yeah, I know it's not. This one is a good sewing job, but these ones aren't really the best. That one and this one, not really the best. I hope it's gonna work out. I don't know. I'm not really good at using this just yet. So the shirt is done. The only thing I need to do with the shirt is the Velcro for the back, but I don't have those measurements at hand or anything. So if my brother or my lovely assistant has a chance to get around or whatever, then I can do that. But this is done. Now I need to cut up Velcro strips for the pants, which it's gonna go like right across there, and then one a little bit lower right there, and put it onto there. But I just used the Plasti Dip. The pieces are done drying right now. I'm using my headlamp so you guys can see a little bit more detail on it. And it does, I can feel it. It's because it's plastic. It's like a rubbery feeling to it. All of them are done. The gauntlets are stuck. There we go. Gauntlets are done. I did miss a couple spots, like one right there. It's a little bit of wet still. I believe both of them are the same. I missed some spots. Yeah, I missed right there. The back side I didn't miss that much. A little bit right there. Cauldrons. Let me get a little bit closer. The cauldrons came out pretty good, especially the Mudhorn insignia. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. But I do need more spray because of those other parts that I missed. And then the very bottoms right there on both of them. And the shin pads are fine. I didn't miss anything because I had free access to all of it. So the thighs. These two are all set. That's all set. These ones need a little bit of touch up, and so I'm almost gonna be finishing up the spray painting on all of the Mandalorian Beskar parts. So for the chest piece right here, I don't know if I'm in frame. The chest piece, you'll notice there's a little bit of pink spots because I went to the store. My old dry decks, I found that actually worked pretty good. So I picked up another one because the one that I had dried out because it was such a big one. So I did pick up a new one. It's a smaller one, and it's the same stuff as the dry decks, but it's a lot smaller. It was double the size. Actually, I think yep, right there. The sizes comparison, it's like half the size of it. This one, it starts off, I'll show you. So that's the color it starts off at. Once that dries, it turns to white, and you can't mistake it. It's literally as white as this little spot on the lid. So that whole thing is wasted because I really didn't use that much. So I bought a smaller one. Use this one. If I don't use all this, which I don't think I might, but if I don't use all this before it dries, then I'll just buy like a small like tube. Because I know some projects, like for my Iron Man helmet, I used a lot of that on that one because I had to cover the entire helmet and make it as smooth as possible. But like I said, I used some of it on this. Main reason is because when I was using my Dremel, which I have the sanding bit on right now, I wasn't using that one. I was using this. It's a diamond bit. Use it, and you can use it to file and like round and sand off the edges without taking a lot off. I used that and it slipped out of my hand a little bit. Not really, but like if I was going like right here, it like caught onto it and it spun itself like that. So like it dug into the actual piece. So like this part right here and on this side is just the seam right here. It didn't glue all the way, so I just used that to cover that up. But right here it made that mark, and where else? Oh, right here. You can kind of see it right there in front of my nail. So I'm using that. It's already starting to dry. It's not a white anymore. Or I mean, it's not pink anymore. Once it turns white, I'm going to hit it with 400 grit sandpaper or something a little bit. Or I might use a different one. I don't know. This is just the one I have on hand. I'll use this, sand it down. That just scared the living crap out of me. I thought someone was standing behind me. I forgot the mannequin was right behind me. Back to what I was saying. Once this turns white, I'll sand it, and then I'll use the primer again, prime the whole thing, get it nice and same color and everything. Then I can paint it with that gray gloss. I think it's gray gloss. I don't know, it's over there. It's the gray paint that I was showing in the video earlier before. I did, let me just put this back. So I did already paint the jetpack a little bit. There's that little spot right there, because I peeled off a little piece of glue that was bothering me. But I didn't, what I've been doing for all the other parts is I've been using this stuff right here, Plasti Dip. And that's what I used on all these pieces to seal the foam. So because I guess the spray paint eats away at the, eats away at the foam over time. But I don't think it's going to be affected that much, and I was running low on the can, and I didn't really want to run out to grab another one. So I did just spray paint it the gray, but it does, I honestly, like the bottom part down here looks pretty good. It's like all one color smooth, but like all up here where I sanded or whatever kind of looks not really a shiny gloss. Like, here, let me get a bit of it. Like down there, it's not like a shiny all color. It's like a off rough kind of texture to it, like something like this. So I might spray paint it again with the gloss. This is the one, by the way, gloss gray. I might respray paint it a dark gray. I might respray paint it with that one a couple times, trying to get it all one color. If not, then I'll probably try to sand just these pieces and then prime it and then spray that on. But I don't know if I'm gonna do that right now. It is a little bit sticky still, so I think it didn't really dry that much. Like it still might be a little bit wet. Like, I don't know if you can hear that. Like if I just take this and leave it right here on the table, it'll stick to the table, and you can hear when I lift off, it'll go. I don't know if you heard that. So this is just gonna get put off to the side for now so it can kind of dry. And now I'm going to spray paint all of these pieces, the gray, for let it dry for 2 hours. Once it dries, then I can use the graphite powder, which is behind the Darksaber over there, and graphite coat it so it would match the same color. Actually, I'll get my pistol. There we go. So it would kind of match the same as like this one, which the armors should look a lot different because I used black gloss on this instead of gray. But I'm gonna graphite it the same way I did these, same with the rifle in the corner over there, and try to get it to look the same, because I don't really want to use the chrome spray paint I used right there, because it's too bright of a chrome and it doesn't look like the Beskar color. So I'm gonna get my, I know I meant to do this compact, but I just got lazy and I didn't want to take it apart because I was going to set it back up. I just put it up there to get it out of the way. Get this down, and I will start to spray paint all those pieces, and I'll get back to you once all those are spray painted with one coat.